I'd wake up every morning in a panic attack, burning out so badly. How can we afford this? And I feel this immense pressure just building. I got offered what was my dream job. It took me 5 years to rebuild myself. I don't know what to do. Have you ever poured years into something and not sure if you should walk away from it? Because that's exactly where I'm at now. I've got 6 months to decide if I give up on everything that I've built, divert from plan A to plan B. And right now, I honestly have no clue which direction I should pick. So this style of video is going to be a little bit different to my normal videos because I'm stuck in this position and I really don't know what I should be doing. I've been working on option A for the last 3 years, and I kind of assumed that it might have been a little bit quicker in succeeding than I'd hoped for. And I've got this other option, option B, which is a really amazing offer. I don't know if it's right for me. I can't tell if I'm escaping, running away, or giving up too early. These are the things that have been plaguing in my head for the longest time now. Option A is continue to build my business and work on helping people. I built the company alongside my now fiance back in 2023. At the start, it was just stress management through breath work, cold water, and meditation, but it morphed into something more. I started doing life coaching, helping people through their stress, their worries, their burnout, and that's what it's kind of gotten to at the moment. And I've been lucky enough to make that my full-time job, helping people through their own struggles, their own habits, and fixing themselves. Since a lot of challenges that they're facing are challenges that I've faced. When I had to overcome rock bottom myself. The day before my 21st birthday, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. It's an autoimmune disease which really affected my ability to walk. And doctors said there was a chance that I could never walk again. The hard part was that I'd completely lost my identity. I lost who I was, my purpose. And there was moments that I thought, is this life worth living? I had handfuls of pills every day to help with the inflammation and the pain. Immune suppressors to stop the autoimmune condition. And as most 21-year-olds would, I handled it poorly. My coping mechanisms were just terrible. But during my recovery, I got offered what was my dream job. I was working in the city of London, working with amazing brands like Uber and Emirates. I had control over 4.5 million followers. The company that I was working for brought in $350 million worth of income to the city. And from the outside, it looked like I'd made it. But only those close to me knew I was burning out so badly. I wasn't taking care of myself physically, mentally. My sleep was shot, my diet was shot. And I was using terrible coping mechanisms just to get through the day. I'd wake up every morning in a panic attack. I'd be counting down the days until Friday came around. And then Sunday came, and I was like, oh my God, I've got another week of this. My dream job was turning into a nightmare, and I didn't really know how else to act. The breaking point came when the job asked me to jeopardize my physical health and mental health and return back to the city of London in the middle of 2020. I began packing my bags, but quickly realized the job wasn't worth my physical and mental health. I was already overstressed at this stage, working stupid hours, and it wasn't providing me any value in my life. So I handed in my resignation, told them that I wouldn't be returning to London. And in the same week, my partner at the time broke up with me. My partner left me. I felt completely lost, rock bottom. I had nowhere to go, nowhere to turn, and I really didn't know what to do with myself. I always just felt like this victim. I'd ask God or the spirit or whoever you believe in, why me? Why are you punishing me? What have I done to deserve this treatment? But I vividly remember this point in time when I had to decide between choosing to deal with my emotions with negative coping strategies or to give the weird and wacky ones a go. The ones that I laughed at, because at this point I had honestly nothing left to lose. Every time there was a struggle in my life, I always reverted back to these negative coping strategies, and they always made me feel worse. It took longer for me to recover, and it felt like I was spiraling further and further out of control. So I decided I can either go with what I know will not work for me, or try something completely different. When I looked into them, they were things that I would laugh at. People throwing themselves in cold water, doing breath work, journaling. I was like, what? This is stupid. How does anybody think this works? But I was desperate, and I needed it to work. So I tried, and that's where I'm at now. I figured if I focused on my foundations, my sleep, my movement, my nutrition, everything else should follow. And that's what I did. I started learning, reading, watching podcasts, but most importantly, I put actionable steps to get where I needed to get to. All this information was coming in, but it would be completely useless if I didn't actually use it. It took me 5 years to rebuild myself, to review my mistakes, my behaviors, and to improve my life. And now I help people through their own problems, their own challenges, their habits, their goals, their life direction. Because I'm glad about my journey. I just wish it was all a little bit quicker. Helping others has been so rewarding. We've been able to work with amazing people and help thousands work through their problems, work through their stress, and put actionable steps to bettering their lives and bettering their health. And seeing the change firsthand was all the reward I needed. But the way the business was set up and what we were doing to provide for the community felt like we were giving more energy than we were receiving. We weren't giving enough back to ourselves. Recently, Tiana and I got engaged, talking about families, settling down, having kids in a home. But the question that keeps getting raised is, how can we afford this? Because unfortunately at this stage, higher wellness and my personal work, working with people, is just not bringing in enough. So if you'd like to support us, subscribing, following, liking, commenting, sharing it with a friend really goes a long way. So this is the pivotal point I was talking about. Do I continue working on option A, working on my business, helping people? The work that I feel so called to do, the one that lights me up and fills me with joy, the one that I can spend 12 hours a day working on and not get sick of it? Or do I move to option B, to roll the dice to see if that would be more financially viable for myself, for my fiance and for my family? Option B is going back and finishing my clinical studies as a psychologist. I've already completed my psych degree. It would just be specializing in clinical practice. When the option first arose, I was really excited. It meant that I could align myself and my values with what I wanted to do with my business, my family, my life. It felt like it would help me achieve my mission and make the world a little bit of a better place. But then reality set in. Tiana and I sat down, spoke about what our shared goals as a family, as a couple would be. Tiana's got her last year studying up in Auckland, and if I decided to go down this pathway, it meant that we would be there for another 3, 4, 5, 6 years. What went from 1 year in Auckland turned into a lot longer. We want to start a family. We want to return home. We want to be there. And if we chose that option, staying in Auckland for many more years than we expected, it meant that we'd be delaying our dreams, stopping our goals of raising a family and having a home, and going back home. The thought of pushing those dreams away hurt. It hurt the both of us. But the issue is, none of this is guaranteed. I need to apply, be accepted, secure placements, and get the right results. The only thing that is certain is that the time required is immense. And now I'm staring at this ticking time bomb. I have until the end of the year to decide if I want to continue with my dreams of not only myself, but my fiance, my future children, and going back home, or committing to a more stable job and environment, but sacrificing so many things for that. And I feel this immense pressure just building, and I feel the sand of the hourglass just drifting through my fingers. It's always on my brain. I'm always questioning if it's the right decision, because I'm not thinking about just myself, I'm thinking about so many other people. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. If you have any recommendations or any advice, any input, if you've gone through something like this before, please reach out, tell me. Feels like an impossible decision to make, but I'm not giving up yet, because I'm not giving up on the younger version of me, the one who struggled, the one who went through the burnout, that went through the autoimmune disease and came out the other side. And I'm not giving up on anyone, the people who are there to make change, to better themselves, to have their habits improved. But whatever happens, I'll keep you along for the journey, keeping you updated with all the failures, all the challenges, and all the wins. Because if life has taught me anything, is there'll be ups and there'll be downs. There's always sunshine, even if there's some rain. And if you're struggling, needing any help, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to provide any assistance to improve your stress, improve your habits, and everything in between. And if you're interested in learning a little bit more about my journey with rheumatoid arthritis, I'll place the video here, because it's a journey.